my niece's house, and I forget doing what, or dropping something off, and I said, well, I called her and said, I'm going to early vote, and then I hear this voice say, Lorraine, she says, and I had this hat on, she says, you know how we love hats when it's bad hair days? I'm not saying that to my niece though, I love you. Anyway, I just said, oh, she says, I know you anywhere. And I'm like, okay, who is she? Man, I was like, oh, good. And then immediately, she's a good promoter of Stonecroft Ministries. Immediately, she hands me this, you gotta come to this, you gotta come to this. Next thing you know, I was there at Brookside Country Club, really enjoying myself. Had to apologize because it seemed like a lady was running up on me and I was kind of, trying to find a parking spot. But the lady said, oh honey, she said, are you going to such and such? And I'm like, yes. And so she just grabs my hand, takes me in, and it was just such love. I mean, such reception. Because you know how sometimes you go to places or business meetings, some are going to like you, some are not going to like you. You really don't care. You would really like to be well received. Well, I could not believe there were about 40 women there, and everybody just embraced you. And I'm like, this is my kind of women. So, on to my business. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about 3 facets, and I will respect what Ms. Hendricks said. I am a fast talker, so she said, slow down. So I will slow down. And I just want to share with you ladies, the first thing I'm going to share about is my dress designing. And that was kind of like the love of my life since I was 13. I took a home economics class. That's what they were trying to get baby boomers to do back then and there, and learn to cook. I will say my first cake was flat. Don't know what happened, and my niece will tell you to this day I don't cook, and that's okay. But I made my first dress. I took it home, I cut it out, I made it, and then I went back in, was very, very disappointed because the teacher said, you weren't supposed to do that. You were supposed to follow along with the students. Well, move you down to history. At age 25, I just started laying down patterns, started designing my own things, and then finally, escalate up to the years, I said, I want my own business. My father, who's been passed away since '94, I think he left the seed and planted the seed of owning his own business for years. And he did what he loved, and he died doing what he loved. So that's what I want to do. So the dress designing part, don't know if you ladies, or you might know ladies who want a dress design. It is so fantastic what the computer age has done. They now have this thing, what they call a body scan. Of course, you may not want to do it at $125. I think it's either $125 or $200, but they body scan you, and they can actually print out a pattern that they can use that you can just keep until you change sizes. And they also, too, I have a system on my computer, whereas I can take your measurements, I can put them in my computer, and it will print out a pattern. The only, I'd say, deficit to that is that you have to tape all the pieces together. But you then have a pattern that really only fits you. So that's the unique part. And then I have a third system, which is called the leather low system, that I love best. And I just got a kudos from a lady who's been a designer. And the leather low, I measure you, and they have these little bitty 4x4 pictures, and you actually can draft a regular size pattern. It's amazing. So if you ever need anything designed, I'm the person. The other thing is, I do, I won't call it redesign. You ever had something, well, my sister she just gave me this oversized sweatshirt, and I put it on today, and I was like, dang, this thing's 2-3 sizes. But you can take the sweatshirt, you can make it into a jacket, you can make it into a vest. Plus, I have the embroidery equipment that I can embroider anything I want on it and just make it my own. So I call that redesign. And then the last that I've never liked, but I do them, is alterations, which most everybody needs. If you're short, or you're too tall, or too much here, too much there, too little that, you need alterations. So that, if you need any alterations, I'm also too competitive. I call, like if you have a favorite place that you go to have your alterations, such as a cleaners, I will compare prices. Also, too, I do very just things because I had a young lady, she was the branch manager, and She bought this well-known designer dress for 60 bucks. Well, I called a cleaners, whom I won't name, but they wanted $35 to $40 just to hem it. This girl needed several things done. Basically, I spent an hour on her dress, but by the time they would have gotten through, she would have paid close to $100 for it. So I'm like, no, not good. Okay, the second thing I'm going to move on, and then someone can let me know also too how my time is. I'm sure most of you have been in church. Reel it in, okay? You may do that because this is my first time and I have to do it tomorrow, so I don't want to overstep my boundaries or use somebody else's minutes, but I'd love to. Okay, so my second thing is really the thing that I really love about my business. How many of you know somebody who's been touched by cancer, ended up in the hospital, or sick? Okay. I apologize, but I don't apologize, forgot. Diane's husband's in the hospital, is that okay to say? Okay, he's in the hospital. But what I do pillows. I had shifted from 17 years of office administrative to the nurse aide field, and I spent 25 years there. A lot of my patients were cancer patients, and I did 3 years at OSU, 2 years at Riverside. I did Reshore Diane. OSU does have the education and the knowledge, but I love Riverside. They've got the best bedside manners, and they're more personable with you. I love OSU. Their education kind of driven, and that's okay. So basically, when I was in the hospitals, like, people wanted to leave notes and different things, and they had nowhere to leave them. If you leave them in the patient's room, the people come in and they clean up. You can't leave them at the nurse's desk. So I was sitting there one day and I said, what about pillows? Pillows with a pocket. So I make pillows with pockets that you can put a message in. And then when I did OSU,